So let us start with the first topic, that is human eye. Actually, human eye, what are the structures and layers in the human eye? That we should be learning in very surface wise. So we'll be learning this very surfacely. So the first thing here is how a eye is made, or what layers do the eyeball consists. So first we'll learn about the layers of eyeball. The first thing here is the structure of eyeball. Generally talking, human eyeball, also known as bulbous oculi, it is also called as bulbous oculi. It is approximately globe shaped. It is approximately globe shaped with a diameter of about 24 millimeters. So this diameter of approximately 24 millimeter. Another thing we'll be learning about this, it is slightly flattened from above downwards. From above downwards, it is slightly flattened. It is slightly flattened from above. Eyeball is made up of generally two segments. There are two segments. I'll simply show you this first segment and this whole second segment. This first segment and the second segment. What are these first and second segment? I'll simply describe here. Eyeball is generally made up of the two segment. One is anterior part and one is the posterior part. This one is the anterior part, and this one from here onwards, this is the posterior part. So this anterior and posterior part, we'll be learning it, what all do these contain. So here the anterior 1/6 part, anterior 1/6 part, and another, that is the posterior 5/6 part. So this anterior 1/6 part is called as cornea, and the posterior 5/6 part is called as the sclera. Sclera and cornea, this is the outer coat. This simply is the outer coat of the eye. Outer coat of eye consists of sclera and cornea. Generally three coats or three layers of eye are present there: outer, middle and innermost coat. So first let us study about the outer coat. You can simply see all the structure here. I will take you to a handmade diagram now. This handmade diagram you can see here. This handmade diagram is here. This handmade diagram will show you what all layers do contain. So first of all, the outermost part, I'll show you the outermost part. This outermost whole part, I have already said this 1/6 part is the retina, from that is cornea from here, and the posterior part is sclera, the outermost part I am talking about. So behind part is the posterior part, that is opaque. The 5/6 part, I have already said you, 5/6 part is the opaque part, and the anterior part, that is 1/6 part, that consists of cornea. Cornea is transparent part. It allows light to pass through. So this is about the outer coat of the eyeball. Outer coat of eyeball, generally the sclera is the white part. What we can see from outward is the white part of our eye, that is the sclera. So the main function of this sclera is, it is a protective layer. It simply protects all the structures that are located inside the eyeball. So this is about the outer coat. Now second thing we are talking about is the middle layer. The middle layer, simply the middle layer consists of choroid. You can see in the red portion in this figure, the red portion is the middle layer. The red portion is the middle layer. So this red portion consists of highly vascularized tissues. Generally the second layer is called as choroid. This second layer, the second in red dot, you can see there, red dot, this is the second layer, consists of choroid. It is a highly vascular layer. Behind it is choroid, and it continues anteriorly. Behind it is choroid and it continues anteriorly. It becomes widened and more thick. You can simply see this red layer. It continues anteriorly. When you go anteriorly, it becomes more thick at this part. This becomes very thick at this part and widened. Simply a triangular shape like a structure you can see here, the triangular shape like a structure. And this more thick and triangular thickened part is called as ciliary body. So this choroids anterior most part, which is triangular in structure, simply you can see at the pointer there, triangular in structure, that is called as the ciliary body. From that ciliary body, centrally more anteriorly, centrally when you go to the center, and the more anteriorly at front there, at more anteriorly you can see a diaphragm. I am simply talking about this structure, this structure I am talking about. This structure is nothing but the diaphragm. A diaphragm is there with central aperture. Diaphragm is there with central aperture, and this diaphragm is called as iris. This diaphragm is called as iris. So we were talking about this iris. How iris is made means simply the posterior part of choroid comes anteriorly and it continues anteriorly, becomes widened and more thick, widened and more thick, triangular. The structure is roughly triangular, and thickened part vascular layer, that is the thickened part of that choroid vascular layer. When it comes more anteriorly, a diaphragm is there with central aperture, and this diaphragm is called as iris. So simply the choroid, when comes anteriorly, it forms iris. Then we will go to the innermost coat of the eyeball. The innermost, the inner layer you can see here, the inner layer, this in simply in blue structure, this innermost layer. This innermost layer is known as the retina. Retina basically has two parts or two layers. You can simply see the long drawn structure here, the long structure here. This long drawn structure shows here. I have just simply taken this part from here and put it. So you can see here, this contains generally three layers. The outermost layer we have already seen. Outermost layer, that is, outermost layer is the sclera, then choroid, and then retina. But between the choroid and the retina, there are two layers. That is, one layer is outward pigmented cell layer. The outward one is the pigmented cell layer, and innermost is the neural part, that is light sensitive part, which contains rod and cones. So this innermost layer which contains rod and cones. So rod and cones, the special cells which perceive light, and where the image is formed in the retina is filled with rods and cones. So this rod and cone is situated in the neural part of the retina. Another one is the light sensitive part from the backward. The light sensitive part, I am talking about the light sensitive part. From backward, it extends over choroid. It extends from backward. From backward, it extends over choroid. From backward, it extends over choroid. But somewhere middle between the corneoscleral junction. So I am talking about this corneoscleral junction. Corneoscleral junction. Corneoscleral junction is nothing but this part. Corneoscleral junction and the coronal section. Coronal section generally means this part. Coronal section of the eyeball. Rods and cones terminate at this part. The rod and cones terminate, but the pigment layer with little neuronal tissues. But the pigment layer with little neuronal tissues continues forward. They continue forward. Behind the ciliary body and the iris. Behind the ciliary body and the iris. Then we have already discussed what three layers are present there. So we'll now simply know about the wall of the eyeball, their purpose, and all those things. So generally the outer layer, tunica externa or tunica fibrosa, it consists cornea and sclera. Sclera has fibrous tissues and elastic tissue, whereas cornea has stratified epithelium, Bowman's membrane, substantia proper, Descent layer and endothelium. We'll talk about these things in detail. If you like this video, just simply put down your suggestions. I will make a brief introduction about all these part. We'll talk and explain all of them in very minute details in the next video. So the purpose of the outermost layer, that is the cornea and sclera, is the of retina and let the light enter in the eyeball from anterior most part of the cornea. So simply from the anterior most part of the cornea, this way the light enters. So light enters in the eyeball from the anterior most part of the cornea, and this is the outermost layer is there. So it has main purpose of protection and to let the light enter in the eyeball. Another one is middle layer. This middle layer, that is known as the middle layer, also known as choroid. So this provide a huge blood supply or nutrition to the rod and cone cell. Simply the rods and cone cells, they have to do so much amount of work. They have to convert light energy into electrochemical energy. So to provide a huge blood supply or nutrition to the rods and cones is the main function of the middle layer. They need a lot of energy. Those rods and cone cells, because they convert the light energy into electrochemical energy of action potential. That's why we are able to see that light energy that falls on the eye is simply converted into electrochemical energy of action potential. Okay, this action potential, and then we'll talk a little about here how light enters and what all things are actually happening there. So the next part is the diaphragm. I was talking about this diaphragm, this a small structure here, diaphragm. This diaphragm controls how much light is entering in different circumstances. It simply controls the amount of light, that how much light can enter in different circumstances inside the eyeball. Another one is it also maintains the movement of the pupil. So this is the structure of our eyeball. And if we go in more detail, what else things are located inside the eyeball is this. Don't be confused about this 1/5. It is simply 1/6 part. This is 1/6 part, and the posterior most is 1/5 part. So don't be confused, it's wrong there. Now this anterior most part of the eyeball, it consists lens. Simply it helps the light to pass and focus properly on retina. Lens, the main work of this lens, spherical lens here, the main work of this lens is to help the light pass and focus properly on retina. It has a special ligaments which is in contact with ciliary body. It has the special ligament, you can simply see in the blue structure, or I'm sorry, that's green structure there, suspensory ligaments, which is in contact with the ciliary body. By suspensory ligaments, it is attached to the ciliary body by suspensory ligament. Another thing is, behind the lens there is a fluid or jelly like material. Behind the lens, just behind it is this part is filled with some fluid like structure. That fluid like structure or jelly like material which fills the remaining part of the eyeball behind the lens is called as vitreous humor or vitreous body. And another thing is the fluid at the anterior to the lens. This anterior part from here to here, this corneal part, it consists of another fluid that is called as the aqueous humor. So this is about all the structures present in the eye. So now we'll talk about how light enters and what all happens there. In very brief, we'll talk about it. let me erase all these things here and then I'll show you. From here what happens, from the outside the light enters, isn't it? The light enters. So when the light enters, it passes from cornea, then through the aqueous humor, from cornea to aqueous humor and pupil, from cornea to aqueous humor and pupil, and then through the lens, from now onward from the lens, from lens to the, from lens to the vitreous humor, through the vitreous humor, and then it falls on the retina and it stimulates rod and cone cells. The light, the photon energy that is there, that stimulates the rod cells and cone cells, and rod cell and cone cell eventually convert this action potential of light energy. This light energy is converted into action potential, which goes out of the eyeball through the optic nerve. Simply the optic nerve we are talking, from this way it goes out from the optic nerve, is it goes out of the eyeball through the optic nerve to the central nervous system, and that's how we can see anything with our eyes. And this is what about the general structures of the eyeball. If you want notes of this, you can simply put it down in the comment section. I'll be providing you with the notes also. So this is all. Thank you so much.